Now, the next chapter which we are going to revise is the chapter of offenses and penalties. Sir, offenses and penalties, what kind of a chapter it is? People, in my opinion, from this chapter, Baba, I can't go ahead and call it A plus plus, but sir, you call it A or you call it B. 4 to 6 marks is something you can expect out of this chapter because it can be a part of big question, it can be an individual question, and they can go ahead and ask you a question out of it, right everyone? Let's go ahead and start with offenses and penalties, the various offenses which are there, for that the various penalties which are there on the road. See Baba, for any law, people, for any law to be maintained properly, for various offenses penalties has to be there, for various wrongdoings there has to be penalties, otherwise people will not be scared only. Sir, I am going on the footpath, driving on the footpath, now when I am caught, if there is no penalty, then I'll never be scared, I will always disobey the law. And hence they have gone ahead and told, for every offense in a law, for every offense there has to be a penalty, otherwise people will not be scared. And hence government have gone ahead and told the various offenses and the various penalties which are there. Everyone over here, section number 122 is a section which goes ahead and talks about penalties in certain cases. It has section number 122 1, section number 122 1a, section number 122 2, and section number 122 3. Everyone over here, section number 122 1 talks about 21, approximately 21 penalties are there. Circumstances for levy of penalty on a taxable person, sir. And it goes ahead and says, if you have to remember, oh, officer told, oh, gastric. Baba, oh, gastric is the mnemonic which you have to go ahead and remember. Now, in the exam, students don't remember this. So, I always tell them that offenses and penalties ka chart, you should keep it besides your bed only, so that every day night you are watching it once before you sleep. Take everyone over here. Now, officer related, if you have gone ahead and done some wrong, means obstructed one officer, prevented from discharging his duty, okay. Then goods, services are both related if you have gone ahead and done something, supplied without invoice, incorrect invoice you gave, false invoice if you are going ahead and giving, okay. Invoice without supply in violation of the rules or act, means I am going ahead and giving bogus invoice, okay sir. Supplies, transport, stores goods which are liable to confiscation, I am going ahead and storing those goods on which tax is not paid, then they are going ahead and telling, in this case also penalty will be levied on you. Accounts related, gastric ka GA, A means accounts related offenses, fails to keep accounts, maintain accounts, retain the books of account, 36 months was there, okay. Produce fake accounts, and in that scenario you will be liable to penalty. Suppressing the turnover, if you are doing suppression of the turnover. TDS, TCS, you did not deduct only, you did not collect only, or you deducted or collected less, or you deducted or collected actual, but you failed to pay. Sir, you temper or destroy evidences or documents, detained or seized or attached goods which were detained, might be seized during a search and seizure activity. You are going ahead and doing what? Tempering or destroying. Then in that scenario, you will be liable for a penalty. Transporter, you are transporting. Sir, you are going ahead and transporting the goods. Okay, sir, books of accounts retain के लिए it is not 36 months, it is 72 months. Okay, Baba, my mistake. If I told something else. ठीक है, 72 months. Feelings are mutual only. Okay, everyone, done. Transports without specified document, e-way bill, etc. is not there. Then, sir, registration का केस में you failed to obtain registration, or sir, produce information. False information is furnished during taking of registration. Then, sir, or you are using other person's registration number and doing business. Okay, sir, refund, fraudulently you have taken refund by going ahead and giving fake documents, etc. ITC, without actual receipt of the goods fully or partly in contravention. Baba, ITC should be taken only once you have gone ahead and received the goods. If you go ahead and take before, okay. Then ISD, if you are an input service distributor, you take or distribute ITC in any of the contravention. If you go ahead and do contravention, then Baba, penalty will be imposed. I for information and document which are called by the officer, either you fail to furnish or you furnish false information. Collect amount as tax, you have collected an amount as tax, or in contravention you have collected. Baba, always remember one thing, if you have collected an amount as tax or in contravention, please pay it to the government. If you don't pay it greater than 3 months from due date, then Baba, you will be liable to a penalty. And always remember, in O gastric wala offenses which I have gone ahead and told, O gastric, always remember 10,000 or the tax amount involved, whatever whatever is the tax amount which is involved in the case, whichever is higher, and this penalty I am talking under CGST Act. So 10,000 or the CGST involved, whichever is higher, 10,000 or the SGST involved, whichever is higher. IGST Act, then it is 20,000 or the IGST amount, whichever is higher. Okay, sir, point is clear. The next one over here is, now government went ahead and told, see, there is a person who is the mastermind of a game. The person has taken registration on, supposingly, I went ahead and did what? I went ahead and took registration in the name of my staff, supposingly, and I am doing all the wrong things. I am going in and passing on the credit. I am doing everything in the name of my staff. Now, what is happening over here? When department will come and catch, they will catch the registered person over here. Now, registered person is my staff. I am not caught. And hence, in this scenario, government went ahead and did what? Section number 122A, 1A introduced, wherein government told any person who retains the benefit of a transaction covered under clause 1, 2, 7 and 9. Sir, what is 1, 2, 7 and 9? Everyone over here, how will you remember 1, 2, 7 and 9? If you go ahead and see over here, just a minute. Wherever you are able to see the underlines, that is 1, supplying without invoice or incorrect invoice or false invoice. You are supplying without invoice, ठीक है, or you are issuing bogus invoice without any supply, ठीक है, or you ITC without actual receipt. I am going ahead and taking the ITC without receiving the goods only, might be on the basis of bogus invoice. ITC without actual receipt, either fully or partly. Or sir, ISD, I take or distribute ITC in contravention. If this 4 offenses I am going ahead and doing, they are going ahead and telling any person, means it can be any person, everyone over here, any person who retains the benefit of a transaction, who retains the benefit, okay, under subsection 1, and at whose instance the transaction is conducted. It can be any person, registered person, or might be at my instance the transaction was done wherein I was getting bogus invoices issued. Then sir, I will be liable for a penalty of tax evaded or ITC availed or passed on. First of all, they will take the amount, plus they will also go ahead, whatever was the tax amount, that they will take, plus they will also go ahead and tell me to go ahead and pay what? Penalty, which is how much I have gone ahead and evaded. I made 2 crore rupees ka evasion, then 2 crore will be the penalty. ITC availed or whatever the ITC I have passed on, that much amount of penalty I have to give. And this is basically section number 122 1A was introduced for those masterminds who were basically behind a fraud. Those people are now caught under 122 1A and penalized. Section number 122 2, circumstances for levy of penalty on registered person. Registered person supplies the goods on which tax is not paid, short paid, erroneously refunded, ITC wrongly availed or utilized. If you have gone ahead and supplied and there is ITC wrongly availed or utilized, and sir, tax not paid, short paid, ITC wrongly availed, ITC wrongly utilized, then they are going ahead and telling that sir, fraud, willful misstatement ka case it is, then 10,000 or the tax amount whichever is higher. If it is other than fraud, 10,000 or 10% of the tax whichever is higher. Okay sir, after that we have section number 122 3, which goes ahead and talks about circumstances for levy of penalty on any person, need not be registered person, any person, penalty up to 25,000. And it says if you are a person who aids or abates, you are helping someone in going ahead and doing the offenses under section number 122 1, means all these offenses which I went ahead and told you, gastric wala offenses. If you are going ahead and helping someone in doing that, you are not a registered person but you are helping someone. Or B, he deals in any way with goods he knows or has reason to believe are liable to be confiscated. If you are going ahead and dealing with those goods which you know are in contravention and those are liable to be confiscated. Okay, receives or is concerned with supply of or deals with supply of which he knows or has reason to believe are in contravention. For an example, I am a supplier of goods or I am a supplier of service. I did not issue an invoice. I will be caught under section number 122 1. You went ahead and did not take the invoice. You told, okay sir, don't give the invoice, Baba, then you will be caught under section number 122 3. If you aid or abet or you deal in any ways with goods he knows or has reason to believe are liable to be confiscated. Tax unpaid goods if I am dealing in. Okay, receives or is concerned with supply. You are receiving the service on which I have not gone ahead. So it says which he knows or has reason to believe are in contravention of the provision of act or rules, have not gone ahead and issued the invoice, and you're receiving those service, means you are also doing a contravention, on you also penalty. Sir, fails to appear when issued a summon to give evidence or document. Might be the proper officer went ahead and told one director, hey director, you have to come, and the director did not come, then the director because he did not come here for a summon, he can be penalized up to 25,000, and fails to issue invoice or account for invoice in the books of account. Might be, I am not a registered person, but for my supplies I have to go ahead and issue an invoice. If I am not issuing an invoice, or after issuing I am tearing and throwing, I am not accounting it, then also they are going ahead and telling you will be penalized up to 25,000. Remember one thing, section number 122(1) dealt with taxable person ka related penalties. Section number 122(1)(a), those masterminds behind a fraud, for them the penalty which was ITC evaded, ITC availed, means tax evaded, ITC availed, or ITC which I have passed on. ठीक है sir. Section number 122(2) fraud case, non-fraud case के लिए, and section number 122(3) was going ahead and telling any person pay penalty can be up to 25,000. The next one over here is section number 122(1)(a), 2 and 3 is done. Now is section number 123, which goes ahead and says penalty for failure to furnish information return. Baba, there is something called information return, and if you fail to furnish information return, it is 100 rupees per day up to a maximum of 5,000 rupees. Remember one thing, whatever penalty I am telling you is under CGST Act, similar amount payable under SGST Act. Remember, if it is in the exam, it is double. ठीक है, CGST plus SGST वाला amount, total is your IGST का amount. Sir, in the exam, please be very careful. Are they asking you under the provision of CGST Act, or are they asking you question from IGST point of view? ठीक है sir. Next. Now in GST, if you fail to furnish statistics, then Baba, they are telling fine up to 10,000 can be levied on you. And sir, after even going ahead and levying a fine, if you continue, then they are telling 100 rupees per day up to a maximum of 25,000 rupees. Section number 125 goes ahead and says, sir, any provision anywhere supposingly penalty is not told, any person contravenes any act or rules, no penalty is separately provided, then sir, still officer can go ahead and penalize you up to 25,000, where nothing is told about an offense and there is no penalty told anywhere else, then proper officer can penalize you up to 25,000. Very, very important from exam point of view. Section number 126, it goes ahead and talks about general discipline with respect to imposition of penalty. General discipline. Whenever an officer is going ahead and penalizing, what are the general disciplines he should go ahead and follow? It says no penalty for minor breach where the tax involved is less than 5,000. Minor breach, छोटे मोटे breaches के लिए don't go ahead and penalize. Sir, no penalty for minor breach where the amount is less than tax involved is less than 5,000 rupees. And sir, minor breach of what? Minor breach of tax regulation or procedural requirement, and in particulars any omission or mistake which can be easily rectified. Sir, easily rectified means, sir, if you, what is easily rectifiable? Which is apparent on the face of record, and sir, it should be made without any fraudulent intention or negligence. Always remember one thing, sir, if you have gone ahead and done a minor breach which is less than 5,000 of any tax regulation or procedural requirement, and sir, in particulars, if you have gone ahead and done any omission which is basically easily rectifiable, which is apparent on the face of record, and sir, it is not done with any wrong intention, basically it is done without any fraudulent intention, and gross negligence should not have happened. Okay? If it is done without any fraudulent intention or gross negligence, then they are going ahead and telling, sir, officer can go ahead and not penalize you also. He will not go ahead and levy any penalty. The next one is penalty will always depend upon the fact and circumstance of each case and be commensurate with the degree and severity of the breach. Always remember one thing, wherever it is told up to 25,000, right everyone? Now in this scenario, wherever it is up to 25,000, basically the more severe offense, the more penalty. The less severe offense, the less penalty will be imposed. And it says penalty shall depend upon the fact and circumstance of each case and be commensurate with the degree and severity of the breach. Okay, no penalty without opportunity of being heard, and always an officer should pass a speaking order. Officer must specify the nature of the breach and applicable law, regulation or procedure because of which he is going ahead and levying a penalty. ठीक है? Remember, in your exam they will tell you The officer did not go ahead and give opportunity of being heard. Baba, the penalty order can be challenged over here. Sir, the officer did not go ahead and give a speaking order. He did not go ahead and put the nature of the breach. Baba, the order can be challenged because 126 ka discipline has not been followed. The next one over here, voluntary disclosure may be considered as a mitigating factor when quantifying a penalty. Now, when the officer is going ahead and quantifying a penalty, if you have yourself gone ahead and told the officer, sir, this was my mistake, then Baba, he can consider that fact and charge you less amount of penalty. But always remember one thing, sir, this section shall not apply where penalty specified is a fixed sum. Sir, penalty 100 rupees or penalty is 10,000 rupees. Baba, if it is a fixed sum, then this section will not apply that, sir, I have told you myself, no, reduce the amount. That is not possible. Sir, this section is, or if it is expressed as fixed percentage, then it is not possible. But this section will be applicable where the penalty is up to. If they have gone ahead and told penalties up to 25,000 and sir, your severity is less, you have gone ahead and yourself gone ahead and disclosed that, sir, I have done a mistake. In that scenario, the penalty amount can be charged little less. But wherever it is told 10,000 fixed amount, percentage 10% of penalty will be, then in that scenario, you can't bargain, sir. Charge 8%, no. Charge 7.5, no. That is not possible. Done, sir. Point is clear. Section number 126 related. Please solve some questions and go. There is one Mangesh ka question which is there. Good question. Please do it and go. Okay, sir. The next one over here is detention, seizure, realization of goods and conveyance in transit. Everyone, you were going, conveyance was in transit. Sir, now you were going on the way. You had not paid the taxes. Truck was caught. And now, when the truck was caught, sir, detention was done and then they seized the goods, and for release of the goods you will have to pay a penalty. When goods are going on the way, everyone over here, when goods are going on the way and sir, goods are in transit and sir, you are being detained, you are stopped, you are required to show some document, and when you are required to show invoice, delivery challan, invoice or bill of supply or delivery challan plus e-way bill, you did not have some document or might be some mismatch was there, invoice and e-way bill is not matching. In that scenario, they are going ahead and telling, sir, you will be liable to pay a penalty and then the goods shall be released. Everyone over here, section number 129 is very, very important from exam point of view. Listen carefully, everyone. Everyone over here now. Goods and conveyance. After detention and seizure, please practice some questions from this and go. Shall be released if the owner comes forward, if the owner does not come forward. Always remember one thing, you are going on the way, you are taking the goods and going on the way. The truck is going, now the officer will be here, officer stopped, hey, stop, he is showing a stick. Now what will happen, you will have to show him the documents, which is the invoice, bill of supply or delivery challan, plus you will have to show him the e-way bill. Any mismatching etc is there with the goods which are there in the truck, documents etc ke saath, then the officer will go ahead and tell, hey driver, call the owner of the goods. If the owner comes forward, then Baba, the penalty will be little less, but if the owner does not come forward, then the penalty will be more. Remember one thing, if the owner comes forward, see, penalty we are not talking about the tax, whatever on those goods. If I have gone ahead and transported some goods, today I have raised the invoice, I will pay the taxes when I am filing my GSTR 3 with that, you forget it. We are not talking about tax, but when your goods are going on the way, if they are caught, you will be liable to pay a penalty which is 200% of the tax payable on such goods. So sir, whatever is the tax payable on such goods, 200% shall be the penalty. Remember always, 200% shall be the penalty of the tax payable on such goods. So supposingly, I have gone ahead and transported and the goods ka value is 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh rupees pe 9% is the CGST and sir, 1 lakh rupees only. The goods ka value is 1 lakh and 9% is the SGST amount. Correct everyone? So sir, it is 9,000 rupees CGST and 9,000 rupees SGST. I am not talking about the tax amount. I am talking about penalty. Sir, this is the tax and this tax so you will pay when you are filing your GSTR 3B. I am talking about the penalty. They are asking you penalty and sir, if the owner comes forward, government is telling, Ramesh, listen, just pay a penalty of how much you are trying to steal of that 200% of that 200%. Can you tell me how much it will be? 9 into 2, sir, 18,000 rupees under CGST Act, 18,000 rupees under SGST Act, and if it is IGST Act, it will be the total of CGST and SGST. Did you guys understand that, sir? 200% of the tax payable. If it is exempted goods, might be these goods which I have gone ahead and transported, it is exempted goods. Then what will happen? Then they are going ahead and telling, sir, penalty will be 2% of the value of the goods. Value of the goods ka 2%. Sir, how much is 2%? Can you tell me, everyone? How much is 2%? Can you tell me, everyone? 2% of the value of the goods. Sir, 2000 rupees under CGST Act, and sir, 2000 rupees under SGST Act. Remember, we are learning the CGST Act. Or 25,000, 2000 or 25,000, whichever is lower is 2000, 2000 or 25,000 under SGST Act, whichever is lower, and the total amount will be under IGST Act. I hope everyone is clear. So IGST will be 4,000 rupees. Done, sir. Point is clear. Always remember in your exam, sir, if it is goods which are not exempted, then whatever is the tax ka 200%. Sir, if it is goods which are exempted, then sir, 2% of the value of the goods or 25,000, whichever is lower. I want a heads up from everyone. Is everyone 100% clear till here? Yes, sir, we are all clear till here. Let's go ahead. Everyone over here now. Now, sir, if the owner does not come forward, then they are telling over here, if the owner does not come forward, what is going to happen is higher of 50% of the value of the goods. Sir, 1 lakh rupees ka goods is there. 1 lakh rupees pay 50% of the value of the goods. 50% of the value of the goods is equal to 50,000 rupees under CGST, and sir 1 lakh rupees ka 50% of the value of the goods under SGST is 50,000 rupees under SGST Act. ठीक है sir, point is clear. Higher of 50% of the value of the goods or 200%, Baba, 50% of the goods or 200% of the tax payable. Can you tell me what is the tax payable on these goods? Sir, 1 lakh rupees into 9% and 1 lakh rupees into 9%. So 9% is 9,000 rupees, 9,000 rupees, sir, into 200% will be how much? Sir, 18,000 rupees and 18,000 rupees. Everyone, I hope it is clear. Listen to me very carefully. It says higher of 50% of the value of the goods. Sir, 50% value of the goods under CGST I have written, 50% value of the goods under SGST I have written. In your exam purpose, remember, it is 50% of the value of the goods or 200% of the tax payable. Sir, tax payable ka 200%. So out of this, whichever is higher, which is higher, everyone? 50,000 under CGST and 50,000 under SGST. I hope this point is clear to all. Can we go ahead, everyone? Are we able to digest this, everyone? 50% of the value of the goods, because they are asking you under CGST Act. Always remember, they will ask you under CGST or IGST. IGST then double. ठीक है? Sir, 50,000 or 200% of the tax amount, whichever is higher, which is higher is 50,000 rupees under CGST, 50,000 under GST, IGST then 1 lakh rupees. ठीक है? Then sir, exempted goods का case में 5% of the value of the goods or 2,50,000. If it is exempted goods, 1 lakh into 5% is 5,000 rupees or 25,000, which is lower, is 5,000 rupees over here, and that is under CGST Act. Always remember, 5,000 or 25,000, which is lower, is 5,000. This is under CGST Act. This is under SGST Act. IGST Act then total. I hope everyone is clear till here. Yes, sir. Point is clear. Chalo, let's go ahead. Everyone over here now. Now they are going ahead and telling proper officer detaining. Proper officer, when he goes ahead and detains the good, detain or seizing the goods or conveyance, will issue a show cause notice within 7 days of detention or seizure, specifying the penalty. They will go ahead and issue you a 7 days. So today they have gone ahead and detained. Within 7 days, they will go ahead and issue you a, basically, actually, automatically, immediately they go ahead and issue, not automatically, immediately. They will detain the goods and the conveyance. They will issue a show cause notice within 7 days, specifying the penalty, and then within the next 7 days, within 7 days of serving of the show cause notice, so they detained you, gave you a show cause notice. Within the next 7 days, they will go ahead and pass a penalty ka order, which is there. Baba, I hope you guys remember that this penalty ka order, if you want to go ahead and challenge, always remember, penalty order, when you want to go ahead and challenge, sir, always the penalty under section number 129, you have to go ahead and pay pre-deposit of 25% of the penalty. Don't forget it. I've linked it over here to appeals and revision. Okay, sir. Now, always remember, penalty paid, then proceedings conclude. If not paid within 15 days of receipt of the penalty ka order, then they are telling goods and conveyance will be auctioned to recover all the penalty amount, and department ka whatever expenses etc. happened, that will also be recovered. Always remember, conveyance shall be released. Baba, this was relating to goods. Now, sir, I am the truck owner, my truck. Then they are telling truck ke liye it will be released when you pay 1 lakh rupees or the penalty whichever is less. It means the owner of the truck, whoever is the owner, if you want to release the goods के लिए I told you, for truck also means the conveyance might be a lorry which was there, van which was there. If you want to release that, for that you have to pay 1 lakh or the penalty amount whichever is less, you can take your truck and go. Next, sir, period less than 14 days. If goods are, 1 minute everyone, one small thing over here which you have to change. Listen, the period shall be less than 15. Ayo, suddenly how 14 came? ठीक है बेटा, correct this. Make it 15 days. ठीक है. Period shall be less than 15. Please make it 15 everyone. Period shall be less than 15 days. Please make it 15 everyone. Yes, please make it 15. Period will be less than 15 if perishable goods or hazardous goods, if goods are perishable or hazardous or likely to depreciate with time. Please make this as 15 days. Period should be less than 15 days. If goods are perishable, then sir, why will the officer wait for 15 days and all? He is telling, sir, if I wait for 15 days, then sir, mangoes ka only seeds will be remaining. Chalo, let's go ahead. Everyone over here now. 129, very, very important. 126, very, very important from exam point of view. Now we have section number 130. Section number 130 goes ahead and talks about confiscation of goods or conveyance and levy of penalty where any person, if what are the cases when confiscation happen? Sir, seizure is just seizing your goods and keeping. Ownership does not get transferred. They are going ahead and telling in this 5 scenario, ownership also will get transferred. Number 1, remember what are the cases when confiscation can happen? Number 1, sir, if you are going ahead and supplying or receiving goods in contravention of the act or rules, does not account for goods which you know are liable, which you know is he is liable to pay tax, but it does not account for good on which he is liable to pay tax. Sir, supplying any goods liable to tax without registration, without taking registration you are supplying, or sir, contravenes any of the provision of the act or rules, you are doing any contravention of the provision of the act or rules to evade tax, or you use any conveyance for transportation of goods in contravention. Baba, remember, if you are going ahead and doing all these 5 things, then they are going ahead and telling all such goods and conveyance will be liable for confiscation, plus the person you who is going in and doing, you will be liable for a penalty under section number 122, that is 10,000, or the tax evaded whichever is higher. Always remember, goods के ऊपर they have gone in and told fine will be in case of confiscation, goods के ऊपर fine will be as the proper officer thinks fit, whatever he thinks fit. I will tell, but sir, give me your blank check. He will tell you like that. No, in that scenario, the maximum is fixed by the government that sir, goods के लिए the maximum penalty which is there can be market value minus the GST. The market value of the, goods are confiscated. Now government is the owner of the goods. Government will tell, whatever is the market price of the goods, less the GST you pay me, I will give you the goods. Market price less the GST. And sir, minimum fine plus any penalty which is there should be greater than equal to penalty which is 100% of the tax payable on such goods. Minimum should be how much everyone? 100% of the tax payable on such goods. Maximum can be market value minus GST. ठीक है sir, fine plus penalty, and penalty they are telling over here minimum will be fine and minimum amount of fine and penalty which you have to pay is 100% of the tax payable on such goods. Now everyone listen to me very carefully. Sir, please release my conveyance also. You have confiscated my conveyance. Baba, in confiscation of conveyance, the truck, lorry, etc., if it is confiscated by the government, GST payable on the goods. You will pay for release of your goods, market price minus GST. For the conveyance, you will pay whatever is the GST payable on the goods. Always remember, confiscation order of goods or conveyance or penalty shall be issued after giving opportunity of being heard. And sir, confiscated goods or conveyance will be disposed of after giving you 3 months ka time limit to pay off your penalty. If you pay, very good. If you don't pay, then after 3 months, the goods which are confiscated will be sold off. ठीक है sir, point is clear. Then we have section number 132. Sir, 132 means sending you to jail, imprisonment. Sir, what are the cases when imprisonment will happen? Punishment for certain offences. Whoever commits or causes to commit, Baba, whoever does or who is going ahead and causing to commit means, or and retain the benefit arising of means I am a mastermind behind a fraud, or might be the person who is going ahead and doing the fraud. They are going ahead and telling whoever commits or causes to commit or retain the benefit arising out of any of the following, namely supplying without invoice with an intention to evade tax, supplying without invoice, issuing invoice without any supply. Third one, avail ITC, avails ITC using such invoice or bill means bogus invoice का basis पे I am taking ITC, or fraudulently avails ITC without invoice I am taking ITC, or collects amount as tax. You have collected an amount as tax. Sir, please pay it to the government. If you don't pay within 3 months from the due date, then if 3 months have crossed, then they are going ahead and telling A, B, C, D. Then I am telling over here, then they are telling you will be imprisoned also. Now people remember, we are talking about imprisonment. All these jails wala checks wala clothes will be given to you. That is imprisonment. Here till now we are talking about penalty. Now we are talking about jail. Jail wala food will be given. Jail wala clothes also will be given. Number 1. Sir, supplying without invoice, invoice without supply, ITC taken on the basis of bogus invoice or without any invoice. And the last one, you have collected an amount as tax, but you failed to pay it to the government greater than 3 months from due date. Then these are severe. These 4 are very severe offense. Number 5, sir, evades tax or fraudulently obtains refund, or plus offense is not covered under A to D, then that offense will be covered under E. The next one over here is F. If you falsify or substitute financial record, produce fake accounts or document, or furnish false information to evade tax. Okay, sir. You obstruct or prevent officer from discharging his duty. Officer came to a premises. You are telling, hey, go. You are obstructing the officer. You are not allowing him to come inside your premises. Then they are going ahead and telling, sir, you are doing a imprisonment वाला offense. ठीक है, you have acquired possession of or concerned himself in, sir, what is this T? I have written in the mnemonics ka sheet. Sir, you are doing transporting, removing, concealing, keeping, purchasing, depositing, dealing with, or supplying. If you are doing all this thing with goods which are liable for confiscation, either you are transporting, dealing, supplying, whatever it is, sir, you receive or is concerned with supply of or deals with goods he knows or has reason to believe are in contravention, you temper or destroy material evidences or document, you fail to supply any information which is required, or you supply false information, or you attempt to commit or attempt the commissioning of A to K, Baba, whatever you are going ahead and doing, or you are going ahead and helping someone in doing, you abet the commissioning of A to K. A to K means whatever the above offenses were there. If you are doing it, or you are helping someone in doing it, then, or you are attempting to do it also, you have not done, but you are attempting to do it also, then they are going ahead and telling, sir, if the amount involved is greater than 5 crore, then sir, up to 5 years plus, but beta, jail you will go up to 5 year plus fine, minimum is 6 months jail. Sir, greater than 2 crore, up to 5 crore, up to 3 years you will go. Sir, fine, minimum jail is 6 months, ठीक है, plus fine also. Sir, greater than 1 crore, up to 2 crore, you will go up to 1 year, plus fine will be there, and minimum jail will be 6 months. Commits, or listen to me very carefully, if you are committing or abates the commissioning of offense under FGJ. Sir, what is F? F means falsifying of financial records, etc. G means you are obstructing the officer, and J means you are tempering or destroying material evidences. In that scenario, to Baba, these 3 offenses ke liye up to 6 months or fine or both. Here it was, sir, up to 6 months or fine or both. And sir, always remember, if the amount and the rest of the offenses ke liye, you will always see the amount which is, sir, greater than 1 crore up to 2 crore, then sir, it is 1 year plus fine it is, and minimum jail will be 6 months. ठीक है sir, point is clear. Next, subsequent offense under section number 132, any amount, jail up to 5 year. Subsequently, if you are going ahead and doing an offense under section number 132, jail up to 5 year plus fine will come, and minimum jail is 6 months over here. Sir, this minimum jail which is there is 6 months over here, but if the magistrate who is going ahead and deciding, he has some reasons to be recorded, then sir, it can be lesser than 6 months also. Done, sir, point is clear. Now, the next one, section number 133, liability of officers and certain other persons. Sir, only we do offenses or what? What if the GST department ka officers or some other officers are going ahead and doing offenses? They are telling willfully discloses any information or content of a return. I filed my return related information, the officer is disclosing someone else. Then they are going ahead and telling jail will be up to 6 months or fine up to 25,000 or both. Remember one thing, if I am going ahead and filing the return, any officer of the department willfully discloses any information or content of any return, then they will also be sent to jail up to 6 months, fine up to 25,000 or both. They are telling basically which officer they are talking about. Person engaged in connection with statistics collection or sir compilation, computerization, having access to information return, engaged or agent of the common portal where people are basically going ahead and filing their return. If those people leak your information, they will also be put to jail. Okay, sir, point is clear. The next one over here is compounding. What do you mean by compounding? Always remember, compounding means give money, honey, and you can go. Compounding, everyone. Section number 138. Sir, can the compounding when be done before the institution of prosecution? Might be. Baba, you know what? You will be sent to jail only when the commissioner has gone ahead and told, okay, take him to jail. So, sir, before the institution of prosecution, before the prosecutions have started against you, or after the institution of prosecution ka proceedings also, you can be given compounding. Compounding means pay money, honey, and go home. Number one. Minimum amount of compounding and maximum amount of compounding you should remember, because they will go ahead and tell you one amount and tell you whether the officer has done correctly or not. So sir, minimum amount of compounding and maximum amount of compounding. Sir, minimum amount of compounding means why are you paying compounding fees? So that you don't go to jail. Okay? Sir, minimum amount is higher of 10,000 or 50% of the tax. 50% of the tax, whichever is higher. Okay, sir? And sir, you have to go ahead and multiply this by 3 and you will get over here 30,000 or 150% of the tax amount in between these two, or it should be within range what the officer is going ahead and charging you as compounding ka fees, 30,000 or 150% of the tax involved. Sir, when will compounding not be allowed? Remember one thing, this is important for exam. When will compounding not be allowed? Number one, if you have already compounded with respect to offense in section number 132, 1A to F, Baba, A to F, A say up to F tak, up to F, whatever the offenses are there, if you have already done compounding earlier, it says if you have already compounded with respect to offense under 132, 1A to F and aids or abates the commissioning of A to F, then they are going ahead and telling if you are already given compounding earlier, then second term compounding will not be given with respect to A to F wala offense. Okay, sir? Other offenses? Then sir, other offenses for which you are taken to jail. Baba, I hope you guys remember 132 wala offenses ke liye you go to jail. Okay? Now, whenever you are going to go to jail, any other offenses, A to F wala offense, you leave it. If A to F wala already compounded once, second time compounding not allowed. They are going ahead and telling any offenses other than A above, in respect of supplies of value greater than 1 crore. Value is greater than 1 crore. If allowed compounding earlier, if already allowed compounding earlier, then they are telling, sir, other than A above means A to F wala offense you leave. Other than that offenses if you are going ahead and doing, and sir, if amount is greater than 1 crore and you are already allowed compounding earlier, then sir, second time compounding will not be allowed. If you are accused of committing an offense under this act, which is also an offense under any other act, supposing you have done an offense and that is also an offense under any other act, then they are going ahead and telling we will relieve you from jail, but they will go ahead and send you to jail, and hence in this scenario compounding will not be allowed. If person is convicted by the court told him, I go to jail, you have to go to jail, and you are telling, I will pay money, honey, and I will get out. Baba, they are going ahead and telling over here, if you are already convicted by the court, then you have to go to jail only. And if the person is accused in 132.1 G J K. G J K means G means sir. G for genius. G means if you are obstructing officer. J means you are tempering evidences. And K means you you fail to supply any information required under the act, or you submit false information. Then they are going ahead and telling compounding will not be allowed. In my opinion, this chapter is very important from exam point of view. Everyone come to your amendment booklet. I will go ahead and tell you the amendment in the chapter of offences and penalties. Quick everyone, quickly. Now everyone over here, offences and penalties related amendment which has come, let's go ahead and cover them quickly. What are they going ahead and telling over here? They are going ahead and telling everyone over here, clarification on various issues relating to applicability of GST of demand and penalty provision, ठीक है, under the CGST Act. There were a clarification which people were asking, and they have gone ahead and clarified. Everyone over here, number one, in case where a registered person A has issued an invoice to another registered person B, sir, supposingly there is A, there is B, and there is C. Supposingly A is a registered person, A has issued an invoice, ठीक है, then without any underlying supply of goods, services, or both. But A did not go ahead and do any supply. There is no supply, but invoice has been issued, means bogus invoice का case it is. ठीक है. Then what happened? Whether such transaction will be covered under supply, and whether any demand and recovery can be made from A in respect of the said transaction under the provision of section number 73 or 74. Now they are going ahead and telling, is it falling under supply? When you did not go ahead and do any supply, you gave a bogus invoice. In that scenario, they are going ahead and telling, is it supply under section number 7? Okay, then they are going ahead and telling over here, sir, and whether any demand and recovery can be made against A of the said transaction, means against A, can you do a demand and recovery under section number 73 and 74? Okay, then, and also whether any penal action can be taken against A in this case, means against A, can you go ahead, first of all, will it be a supply? Number 2, whether any demand and recovery can be done from A, and number 3, sir, what can any penalty be imposed on A? So we are talking about A went ahead and supplied one bogus invoice, supply not done, invoice given. Okay, sir, in this scenario, remember, A has issued, I have given shortcut over here, A has issued a tax invoice without supply. Issue of fake invoice without supply does not amount to supply, and hence, number 1 answer, it is not a supply. Number 2, sir, no demand and recovery or penal action is required to be made against A के against there will be no demand and recovery and no penal action. Then sir, then they are going ahead and telling, but A shall be liable for a penalty, penal action under section number 73 and 74 will not come. See, 73 and 74 may basically demand and recovery, and 73 and 74 ka penalty also will not come. But sir, because you have gone ahead and evaded the tax over here, they are telling, but A is liable for a penalty under section number 122(1) for issuing of fake invoice, which is 10,000 rupees, or the ITC which you have passed on. So sir, can you tell me over here on A what will come for issuing bogus invoice? On A, it will be 10,000 or the ITC which you have gone ahead and passed on, whichever is higher, that much amount ka penalty will be payable. Only that one you have to remember, that he will be liable to a penalty. That's what they have gone ahead and told. Higher of 10,000 or ITC passed on. This is under CGST Act, similar amount under SGST Act. I want a heads up from everyone. Are we all 100% clear with this point? Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, we are all clear. Now everyone over here, the next question over here was, A is a registered person, has issued an invoice to another registered person B. Now supposingly there is A over here, there is B over here. A is a registered person and B is also a registered person. He went ahead and issued an invoice. Okay sir. Now what happened over here? B without any underlying supplies. Now sir, here there was no supply. Here there was no supply you did, but you issued a bogus invoice. Okay sir. Now what happened over here? And avails the ITC. B avails the ITC on the basis of the tax invoice. B has gone ahead. Bogus invoice came. B went ahead and took the input tax credit. Okay sir. Then what happened over here? Then they are going ahead and telling B further issues an invoice along with the underlying supply to his buyer and utilizes the ITC on the basis of the above mentioned invoice issued by A. He went ahead and B actually did a supply. For actual supply, it went ahead and issued a tax invoice. Tax invoice means B had some output tax liability. This bogus ITC, B went ahead and used the ITC, and sir, whatever was the output tax liability minus ITC, he went ahead and paid the remaining in cash, for example. Now over here, they are going ahead and telling for payment of the tax liability in respect of his outward supply. B went ahead and used it. B did actual supply. Okay. Whether B will be liable for the demand and recovery of the said ITC, Baba. Whether B will be liable for demand and recovery of the input tax credit. Okay. Along with penal action under provision of 73 and 74. See, Baba. A के लिए तो I have already told you above. A के लिए he will be liable for a penalty which is 10,000 or the ITC passed on, whichever is higher. Now we are talking about B. What happened? A ke liye we already understood. Now what is B doing over here? B did actual supply. And for actual supply, actual output tax liability ke liye, he used the bogus ITC. Now in this scenario, what will be the penal action? They went ahead and clarified over here. In this scenario, situation A issues fake invoice to B and B avails ITC and uses it to pay output tax liability on real supply. There is a real supply, output tax liability on which bogus ITC is being used. Now here they are going ahead and clarifying B has contravened the provision of section number 16 to B, sir, wherein he shall be liable for demand and recovery of the ITC and also penalty under section number 74. Remember one thing, sir, he will be liable to a penalty under section number 74. Baba, ITC wrongly availed. Do you remember? Demand order under section number 74, sir. Tax not paid, tax short paid, ITC wrongly availed or utilized, you will come under section number 74, and hence because ITC has been wrongly availed and utilized, now here what will happen? B pay 74 ka proceedings will be done, and 74 may there is a penalty which is told under section number 74, which basically goes ahead and tells before show cause notice 15%, after show cause notice 25%, after demand order 50%, and then 100%. I hope you guys remember. And sir, that penalty will be levied on him. Any other penalty will not be levied under section number 122. Basically, on B, what will happen? Penalty under section number 74 and demand order under section number 74. Can you tell me about A? A pe to sir, you have already told because he issued bogus invoice for him. You have already told 10,000 or the ITC which was passed on, whichever is higher, has to be paid as penalty. Yes, sir. Point is clear. Can I go ahead? A ka I told you, B ka I told you. Now, sir, we'll go ahead and talk further. It says A has issued an invoice. Everyone over here, there is A. A has gone ahead and issued a bogus invoice. A has issued a bogus invoice. Okay, sir. Then A has issued a tax invoice to another registered person without supplying of goods services. A issued a bogus invoice. There is no supply over here, and sir, he went ahead. This is B. B went ahead and took the input tax credit. Okay, now it says, sir, B avails the input tax credit on the basis of the said tax invoice and further passes on the said ITC to another registered person by issuing invoice without underlying supply of goods or service or both. Baba, everyone over here, it went ahead and issued again a bogus invoice over here, and there was no actual supply over here also. They are going ahead and telling, see over here, they are telling B avails the ITC on the basis of the said invoice and further passes on the said ITC to another registered person C by issuing an invoice without underlying supply. So Baba, here also no supply, here also no supply, and the goods went to C. And the invoice was issued to C. So basically, he issued a bogus invoice here also, bogus invoice received also. Okay. Whether B will be liable for demand and recovery and penal action under section number 73 or 74 or any other provision of the CGST Act. It says over here, situation, what is the situation? A issues a bogus invoice, fake invoice to B, and B further issues a fake invoice to C. Against A, what will happen, everyone? Penalty will come under section number 122, which we have already known, 10,000 or the ITC passed on. ठीक है सर. Against B, what will happen? Since no supply, no demanded recovery under 73 or 74, penalty under section number 120. When you have not done any supply only, sir, when you have not done any supply, 73 and 74 ka proceedings will not come. You will only be liable for a penalty which is 10,000 or the ITC passed on. ठीक है sir. Now B ka what will happen, sir? B has also not done a supply, so 73 and 74 ka proceedings will not come, but sir, B will also be no demand and recovery under 73 and 74, but penalty will be there, which is he has gone ahead and issues number 1. He has issued the invoice without supply. Sir, issuing of invoice number 1, he has issued the invoice without supply, bogus invoice for that 10,000 or the ITC which has been passed on, whichever is higher. And sir, because you have taken the ITC also, sir, when you take the ITC, this is 10,000 or ITC which is passed on, and because B has also taken ITC fraudulently, penalty under 122(17) which says takes or utilizes ITC without actual receipt, 10,000 or ITC availed. So for taking the ITC, you will get 10,000 or the ITC which you have availed, whichever is higher ka penalty, and whichever is higher, that much amount ka penalty for going ahead and taking the ITC, and for passing on the ITC again 10,000 or the ITC passed on, whichever is higher. Did you guys get this point? Can we go ahead and close this discussion over here? Yes sir, we are all clear. Remember one thing. In the very first example, he just issued a bogus invoice over here. For issuing a bogus invoice, 10,000 or the ITC passed on under section number 122, this penalty will be there. Okay, sir, point is clear. Secondly, he went ahead and passed on the credit. For that, he will get a penalty. But B went ahead and took the ITC. And sir, here he made actual supply. And for that, they went ahead and told, in this scenario, he has done actual supply. Sir, we will go ahead and sir, we will initiate section number 74 because supply is there. They have gone ahead and told over here, sir, penalty under section number 74 will come, 122 will not come over here. And the last one over here, A went ahead and issued a bogus invoice to B. B went ahead and further issued a bogus invoice to C. In this scenario, here A pay penalty will be 10,000 or ITC passed on. B pay 10,000 or ITC availed, and then when it passes on, further, it will be 10,000 or the ITC passed on, whichever is higher. I hope everybody understood this. I will go ahead and close all my discussion on offenses and penalties. Baba people, 4 to 6 marks, 100% in my opinion, it should come in your exam. 122 is a good section. 126 is a good section. 129, 130, section number 132, section number 138 are A graded sections of your chapter. Please practice question answers and go 100% you will be able to do if you practice question answers. I'll close all my discussion on the chapter of offenses and penalties over here. Congratulations people.